This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
I don't know what we should talk about today.
I do.
Anything cool happened?
Buddy, it's first home preseason game.
It's nice outside.
It's gorgeous.
Hot.
It's a bit smoky today.
When did it become plus 30 in May?
2 days ago.
But like that wasn't a thing when I was a kid. I feel like it was
In the
snowing
last 10 years or so.
It was snowing at this point. I felt like
It used to almost always snow on May long weekend.
It was like, okay, we're gonna go camping at some shithole because we're in high school.
And you're no, it's not going to snow this year. It's
Not
going to be
gonna
nice
snow
this year.
this
It's going to be nice.
Dumps a foot of snow.
I also remember the one day in my entire elementary career where the smoke blocked out the sun, and it was like a whole big thing for us at the school, and we had to like stay inside, and now that's just our new normal.
Was that here or Halifax?
That was in Edmonton just before I left.
There was like a couple years ago when they were really bad. When I remember the city just had like a weird ominous glow.
Yeah.
Dude, I live like on 118th Street, and if I get on 104, I can't see like the Stantec building sometimes because of the smoke.
That's nuts.
That's incredible.
Besides, now you can't drive anywhere.
It
Takes you forever to get
Dude, it's 107 Avenue as well.
But it blocks out the construction for you, so you don't get reminded of it as much.
Leaving my place gives me anxiety right now because there's nowhere you can go where you don't hit like a massive amount of traffic.
When you go to work, do you drive or do you ride a bike?
Mostly I drive.
We'll save it for your Colt performance.
But I know a lot of the fucking little roads to get there, but
Wait until everybody else finds them.
they've already found them.
Yep.
Now I got to hit the
Hell
proper.
I live in.
Yeah, if it's 3:00 in the afternoon, I'm stuck in my place till at least 6.
Sell your car.
Doing that thing when you're in
E-bike.
Toronto, right? Like where you have to take an Uber to the airport and instead of normal roadways, you're cutting through all these residentials.
Oh, it's nuts, man.
Yep. All right.
Idiots.
Early cold performer. Edmonton Construction.
Just need a tunnel underneath.
To all the people that signed off on it, they should all lose their jobs.
They tell the gondola
When are they
solves
supposed to do it?
Do it one at a time.
Not around
Not
Rick's apartment.
three main arteries all at once. Jasper Ave, 104 Ave, 107 Ave.
What does the overtime look like to get this speeded up too? I want to know that.
No kidding.
You know, little nighttime construction. It's a thing.
Look how many places out there. There's no one working on them.
Mm-hmm. Tyler, you fix that, okay?
They get bridges built on the other side of the world in a weekend. I've seen a video.
Yep.
I got plumbing connections. I don't have construction connections.
1 hour.
Chalmers?
See, there's your guy.
All right.
1
Chalmers
hour
on it.
All right.
of infrastructure talk with Dan,
Rick.
Rick,
Everything.
Bagged Milk.
Let's talk about the Oilers, friends. Start off with a delicious date for our friends at Odd Company Brewing. Proud partner of the all-new Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for the next big game, a series win, or just as your next go-to lager. Find it at either Odd Company location here in the city or liquorconnect.com. Search it up. Find it at a liquor store near you. If you can't find it at a liquor store near you, ask why. Ask why. I am on the delicious debate today, and the question is simple. Tyler, I want to know, why is this year going to be different?
Because they won't get caught off guard by the moment. Like, I think there was just a little bit last year where, and maybe I'm speaking too much about like my fan perspective on it, but like it felt like everything happened so damn quick last year. It was like, oh my God, cup final. Oh my God, what a first game. Okay, they're only down 1-0. Oh my God, they're down 2-0. We even played a game in Edmonton. Oh my God, it's 3-0. Right. And it was just like, shit, like they played, I'd say maybe one bad game in those three, but like one bad game and you're down 3-0. So I don't know. I just feel like they're going to be a little bit more prepared for the start of this series and for the moment. And there's going to be no like, wow, we're in the cup final. This is so cool. It's going to be, we've done this before. We're fine.
We're the Florida Panthers of last year.
Yeah.
They were running their cup misstep back from the previous year against the Vegas Golden Knights, and the benefit for the Edmonton Oilers this time is you get the exact same opponent you had last year. So yeah, to Tyler's point, you won't be shocked by anything. Like I would argue that the Florida Panthers are probably the mind game masters of the playoffs right now. And I don't think the Oilers get sucked into those mind games. Therefore, I'm thinking Oilers in 6.
I don't see any of that, to be honest with you. I think this team is ready to roll. I think they've added players who are playoff performers. And I think we have the depth to get it done this year. If we had this depth last year, like I don't think anything was really too big for the situation was too big for us. we just didn't get it done. The depth wasn't there. We didn't have everybody pulling on the rope. Everybody's pulling on the rope right now. Look how many people have goals in the playoffs. Look how many people have goals in the last series. How many guys have points? It's absolutely insane. We're getting this much from this many guys.
Let me think.
Similar to Rick, I just think this team is just better than what they were last season. They're able to use more players and
Healthier too.
Healthier as well. Obviously, Draisaitl didn't get a goal in the cup final last year, so that wasn't good. This year, though, obviously Hyman is a huge loss. Like, there's no denying that. But Ekholm comes back and looks pretty solid and gets put into a game where you've a high intensity, which can prepare you for the cup final. I think when you go back and look to, like, out of curiosity, I looked like game 1 against Florida last year. They obviously lose 3-0. A game they probably should have won. They had 32 shots. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman all played north of 23 minutes. The lowest guy on the team was Perry at 8.5. Even on the blue line, like Bouchard had to play 30 minutes. And you look to game 3, which they lost at home, you had 3 forwards who played less than 10 minutes. Like, it's just not really happening anymore. Like Derek Ryan and Dylan Holloway both played 5 minutes in that game last season.
Derek Ryan's like our 16th forward right now.
I think people forgot he's on the team.
It's understandable.
Yeah,
His beard is
understandable.
well manicured too, I will say.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yes.
Yeah, Waz pointed that out last.
You know what? He's not teaching any of the young guys how to grow a beard. I'll tell you that.
No.
To me, it's just all about depth and the layers of players you can throw there. Like, what was our fourth line yesterday? Frederick, Henrique, and Yanmark, or whatever it ended up being. Like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here's another one for you. And this courtesy of our boy NHL Sid. An update on the Oilers' 5-on-5 goal differential without Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. In 2016-17, so that was the first time back in the playoffs since the decade of darkness, they had a 32% goal share. So that is when McDavid and Draisaitl were not on the ice. 2019-20 went up to 50. Not too bad. 2020-21, 29%. Bad. That's very bad.
Classic Dominic Cahoon-led teams.
Then you get 45% in 2022, those playoffs. 2023, it was 41%, 36% last year. So that kind of touches on what Rick was saying, where the depth just wasn't really contributing all that much. 2024-25 so far, 68%.
Wow.
Massive jump. And then the other thing I want to single out is let's just do a little comparison. Why not? A little apples to apples.
The bottom six.
I like to look at the defense.
Yeah, the 6.
Last year, our defenders were Ekholm Bouchard, Nurse Ceci, Kulak Broberg, or Desharnais.
Yeah.
This year, Ekholm Bouchard, Nurse Kulak or Stetcher, Wallman Klingberg, and Ty Emberson is our extra.
Our 8. Yeah.
Or our
8.
Our second extra. That is a massive difference on the back end.
Bit of a change.
Massive difference.
They can move the puck way better.
Not even close.
It's, the comparison, it doesn't exist.
The Yanmark goal, that pass by Wally was insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I hate those long ass passes, but when they work, I kind of
I gotta
like
say,
them.
my boy Jake Wallman, I love him to death, but he was an adventure last night sometimes.
There's a couple of guys who are adventures, to be honest.
It's like when you would see him wandering up into the offensive zone, I'm like, hey, it's going the other way. Let's get back.
I saw him dumping and chasing. He was the first forward in there.
Yep.
And the thing is too, like when those forwards get in the puck, like no disrespect to Derek Ryan again, but like they can all make a play.
Yeah.
Like everyone is capable of doing something with the puck. And yeah, I think that's the big difference for me this year.
Anything else that sticks out difference year over year?
I really do think it can't be understated how important this puck moving is. Like, it's going to be a totally different look. Florida is not going to recognize the team they're playing against. Even though it's a lot of the same players, I think they're just going to play a totally different style. And Florida's going to be on their heels a lot more than they were a year ago.
Home ice advantage too.
How about the flip side? How does Florida compare year over year?
I mean, Tarasenko out, Marchand in. That's the noticeable change up front.
Good change.
Good change. Marchand's better than Tarasenko, right?
Yeah.
Proven winner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blue line, no OEL, no Montour. Instead, they have Seth Jones and Nate Schmidt. On paper, probably a bit of a downgrade, but people are pointing out that a guy like Nico Mikkola has played so well that their blue line's probably the same. And then Bob is Bob, right?
Mm-hmm. Bob has been up and down kind of.
That's always
So
But that's always.
they better hope he's not cold when he gets here.
Well,
I hope he's freezing.
I said they.
Oh,
The Edmonton Oilers have a role to play there for sure.
I think that this team, another difference too, is they're on top of good goalies this year.
Well,
Not just with the goal scoring, like they outscored the Stars 19-5 in the last 4 games, but
That is crazy.
But Pete DeBoer said that series could have been 2-2.
Can't believe the goalie did that to them.
but that's Jake Oettinger. He's a really good goalie. Before that, Aiden Hill, same thing. Before that, Kemper, another really good goalie.
Vezina finalist.
And now we've got the goalie whisperer to tell us exactly where we're going to shoot on Bobrovsky.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we're
Next
going to
week.
need him to pick up them
Give him
charts.
some time to study. We have a show next Tuesday.
I
Right before
suppose.
the show. Give him some.
I
we
thought
don't
he'd
want-
already have it up.
He might have it already.
I thought he'd have the image up.
I don't.
He's probably he's been catching donairs for a couple of days. He hasn't had time to do it.
I like to
Oh,
see
he has to
that,
calm down from that.
that smile behind the mask. It's cute.
Let me get this
He
information
was
for you.
beaming.
Or
That
is it
donair
biggest
landed.
smile? Yeah.
It's true.
Bobrovsky. Boy, oh boy.
Is he on the case?
He's on the case. Okay. Who did they play first? Tampa Bay. Give me a second there, folks. Just clicking through.
There's no click.
Take your time.
No, I can't click all. I have to click like all the games or all of them throughout the season. It's such a pain in the ass. So he's played 17 games. All right. Oh, wow.
Shoot by his left ear. Obvious his left eye is not good.
Man,
No.
either eye. He is 33% on the right eye, 0% on the left eye.
He might be blind in that eye.
He might be. Low blocker is the way to go. That's not low blocker, is it? It's under the arm. What do they call that?
Yeah, that's like the 6-hole or something like that.
Yeah, he is 60% from there. High glove and low glove. He's 85% on the high glove, 84% on the low glove, 40. He has allowed 7 shots on the high glove. Damn, this guy sucks. 100% in the chest.
Every
Stuart
time.
Skinner not 100% in the chest.
Except Stuart Skinner. He does have some holes
What,
there.
hang on now. What is Stu in the chest?
He is allowed 1 in the chest.
Okay.
And I think
Oh, is he still alive?
I think it was.
Did they go through him?
You extract the
I think it
puck
was actually
afterwards.
more
I'd like to see that.
I think it was
when
more
this.
like went towards his head and he moved out of the way.
Through and through shot. It's fine.
Yeah, there's holes there on old Bob, and we'll exploit them when the others listen to this.
The funniest thing with him is look at pictures of him side by side in his gear and out of his gear.
He's a wee lad.
He is a wee lad.
Who are we talking about?
Bob.
Oh, yeah.
He's tiny. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The other part that is kind of beneficial to Edmonton in a way. Skinner's played 10 games. Bob has played 17. I wonder if that will help them at all. Yeah, Stuart Skinner, by the way, 97% in the chest head area.
Well, and
One goal.
and the Panthers, I think the Panthers and the Oilers have lost the same number of games.
No.
No? Didn't the Panthers have a sweep to
Panthers,
start?
they
Panthers
were
went to 7.
4-1, 7, 4-1. So they have lost 5. The Oilers
you
have
go.
lost 4.
We're better than them.
12-2
Even
in
at
the
that.
playoffs, which is absolutely insane.
Oh, we're not.
Since game 2 of LA.
Yeah, since game 2.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Also feels like they've struggled a little bit more towards the end of the playoffs, whereas we had ours at the start of the season, start of the playoff run.
They've struggled?
Yes. They couldn't shut down the
Either one
the
of those
Toronto
teams.
Maple Leafs until it took them to 7 games.
Yeah.
And then I guess the Hurricanes kind of
The
bowed out
Hurricanes
pretty
aren't very
quietly, but
good.
They aren't very good. But
It made Florida look better.
I really feel like in game 4, they got under Florida's skin and you could see Florida starting to unravel already. I thought that they were going to continue that. And then all of a sudden in the second period of game 5, the Panthers just took over and the Hurricanes had nothing left. So
There's also the angle, too, that the Panthers are a little banged up right now.
Are they?
Sam
Reinhart.
Reinhart.
This time.
Utu Listerainen as well.
Lustrainen might be out, yeah.
Nikola was out for a game.
Mikola missed a game.
AJ Correa came.
Kachuk is not 100%.
No.
And his numbers kind of illustrate that.
So I'm feeling bullish, but I also think it's important. Pay your respects to a team that's been there and won. It's not going to be easy, but I do think the Oilers are the better team.
I also think too, and I think this is the same for Edmonton as well. Don't get me wrong, but like that Carolina, like watching that game, what was it, game 5 for them against Carolina? Like that was a very easy win.
Yeah.
Like they did not have to work very hard to like to get to the net.
They're not getting an easy one against the Oilers.
No, definitely not. And I don't think the Oilers are getting an easy one either. But like you look at that goal, Barkov made it off the boards. I don't remember who scored the goal, but like everyone's saying about, wow, look how strong Barkov is. And he's like, Dmitry Orlov did basically nothing to prevent him from turning around and going to the middle of the ice.
He had a really bad
It was
round.
Carter, that's who he scored. He was terrible.
He had a really bad round.
The Oilers defensemen, I just think, are playing at like such a high right now. Like, it's hard to pick holes in both teams for sure, but I just think the Oilers are just the confidence level in this team. You can really feel it.
I also think there's another angle too, that the Panthers kind of bullied their way through the East. That's not going to happen against the Oilers.
No, very different from what
It's
they
a very
faced.
different team than they faced last year. I would even go and say the Oilers were the bullies of the West.
I really hope they get aggressive. Like forecheck aggressive. The way we move the puck, the transition game, we can turn and go on them all series long.
Well, and that goes back to my original point about the difference in the defense. Like, there's so many better puck movers on the back end that's a massive difference. No offense to Vinny Desharnais, but he was more likely to throw a grenade up the middle than he was to hit a tape.
I mean, just look at the fact that Cody Ceci was definitely in the frame for a lot of those Oilers goals in this series.
We were talking about that last night at Greta. Our poor friend Cody.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. In the news for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Want something delicious? Celebrate game day? Of course you do. 2 signature boxes and 2 spring rolls for just $29.97. Offer valid in store only and on oodlenoodle.ca for takeout. If you're looking for something specific, I recommend the Kung Pao. It is currently the community box at Oodle Noodle. 10% of the proceeds will be donated to Sports Central to help get more kids out there playing sports. Shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle. I want to start the recap from last night's game with Pete DeBoer.
Oh my goodness.
The big story, obviously, that everybody was talking about last night, and then again this morning as I was cruising around the social medias, was his decision to pull Jake Oettinger after the first 2 shots went in the net. Tyler, how surprised were you to see Casey DeSmith?
How surprised was Jake Oettinger?
He was doing it halfway back to the net already.
Halfway back to the net, and he's like, me? What? Like, they're 2 basically breakaways. What do you mean, me? It was just a crazy decision. And like, again, if you wanted to use it to spark your team, then I almost would have been like, well, then don't use the timeout as well. But like, I thought, again, looking back, it's like Pete DeBoer must have been fuming, understandably. So you're down 2-0.
You could see it on his face.
I loved it.
But you take the 30-second timeout, which when you take it around a goal, by the time it's more like a minute-long timeout. You don't calm down enough in that 1 minute.
You still make that play?
You still do it. And then DeSmith gives up a goal on his second shot he faces or whatever. You don't want to go back to Otter to start the second. And I
thought we were going to go back to him for the second and go, okay, listen, it is what it is.
Now,
if we're going down, we're going down with
our boy.
the U.S. backup in that.
CBC did show a package of DeBoer looking over to Ottinger's way about 4 or 5 times
swearing
right after
at
the
him in
goal.
his head, though.
Right after the goal.
Yeah, cursing him.
Just looks over and this is all
There was
your
also
fault.
that, I don't know who, I would give him a shout out if I knew who it was, but there was also that singular shot after the intermission where everybody was coming out, Oettinger head down. Didn't even look.
Ottinger fist bumping everybody, and then DeBoer comes in, and it's just like force field up.
Dude, it was hilarious. Ottinger standing right there while a foot away is Ray Ferrari breaking.
Tough look.
Gotta be awkward.
And then for the game to end, like, again, season's over. There's no point in playing games or whatever. DeBoer comes out and rips him.
You had no reason to say that. Like it's not, he's not on an expiring contract. He's not an old dude. Like he's there for a while.
DeBoer might be on his.
And I don't
expired
think
contract.
DeBoer's been in the conference final how many times?
3 straight years.
He's lost in 5 of the last 6 conference finals.
Yeah, the fact we keep like
Crazy.
getting rid of a coach that gets you there, like
And he ate.
eventually it's the guys with the skates on their feet who have to go out there and win games.
He threw his Vegas goalie under the bus too.
Remember the flurry thing?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
where Alan
There was-
Walsh with the sword.
Yeah, I saw it back to back or side by side today with the sword through one and the sword through the other.
That got hockey fights blocked on social media by Alan Walsh. When I did the reverse joke of Alan Walsh sword going through Marc-Andre Fleury. He didn't like that. But anyways, shout out to the people that did it last night because I was
There's the
hilarious.
other thing too, like in the post game, like, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the full quote in front of me, but he's essentially like, I pulled Oettinger to spark the team. And I was like, okay, that happens all the time.
I expected that.
But then he continued on. He goes, well, look, if you look at 6 of the last 7 games against the Oilers, he's been dog shit. So what the fuck? And I'm just like, you could have left that whole last part out.
Yeah,
Saying the quiet part out loud there, Pete.
just go back to that room and say that in the mirror.
So I was on pre-gaming with Bordsy and post-game last night and talking to Devin Dubnyk, and I asked him, because I was trying to come up with any reason for that to have happened. So I asked him, first of all, was there any chance that Oettinger said anything to DeBoer in that scrum that may have set him off and got him that pissed off at the end of it? Dubnyk knows Oettinger enough to say, no, that's not the case. And the next question I had was, is there any chance that you think that DeBoer believes that he's on his way out and is just trying to throw Oettinger under the bus to try and be the solution? And he said, well, he doesn't know for sure, but he feels like Bruce Boudreau did that to him in Minnesota. So he felt like it was a very, he felt like it was
contract
very,
up this year?
No. And DeBoer was signed in 2022.
Final, why would you assume you're done?
Well, I don't know.
Because you don't win the series?
But that's what Dubnyk said, is that he believes that there are coaches out there that when they start to feel the heat under them, they're just going to throw anybody under the bus, and the goalie is just the easiest answer.
Always is.
He also.
No, what about that expensive forward you got that didn't do a damn thing outside of playing against his former team?
Ooh, Jamie Benn?
Not that one.
Oh,
Matt Duchene?
Lico?
Nope.
Ransonen?
Tyler Seguin?
Yeah, there you go.
They signed
He's the
McKinnon.
McKinnon. He's feeding off McKinnon his whole career. Gets out to Carolina when they ask him to be a bigger person, a bigger player, take a bigger role. He wilts away. Goes out to Dallas.
He would have actually fitted perfectly in Carolina, because all their star players just disappear in the playoffs when they need them the most.
Yeah, you can't even call them star players. You can call them their best players.
Wasn't it something like he had 22 points in the playoffs?
17 in like 3 games.
But yeah, 17 in 5 games, I think he had.
3 points against the Oilers. He had an assist in game 1, game 3, and game 5.
Yeah.
For how much? They signed him too, right?
Just 12.5 million.
12.5.
Right?
12.
So, sorry.
Good playoff performer there.
The
Hope
other
play against
call,
Colorado your whole career.
the other call that was crazy. When they just asked him, and like I do appreciate the honesty from coaches sometimes, but when he's just like, "Do you think this was the best team you had as a Dallas coach?" And be like, on paper, it's like, "Oh, so you don't like your players?" Like that's what you're basically saying.
That means some guys are some guys are passengers.
And I said that this team was frauds. And
he did.
I think you said worse than frauds.
Maybe that is still an
Fluked
extreme
their way in,
stance,
I believe it was.
But like, I did say fluke. You're right. I just don't know how people could look at that team and think Stanley Cup contender. Like they had, and like I liked Cody Ceci as an Oiler. He was perfectly adequate. Probably played too much.
Yeah, probably.
But like, again, like you're facing another team that's doing the same and has Alex Petrovic on the team who wasn't even in the NHL the year before. Alex sat out. You have Matt Dumber and Ilya Labushkin.
Making a combined $7 million next season, those two.
Like, how did anyone think this was going to go any other way? This team literally had a negative goal differential coming into the series, and their star player, Mikko Rantanen, was scoring in 5-game bunches. Like, he would, and it's just like
1 5-game bunch.
They lost that series for me when Rupe Hintz was like, I'm good.
No, I love it because everyone's saying they lost the series.
The Bischel thing.
Yeah, when Bischel hit his head.
Yeah, I watched the clip from Spit and Chicklets this morning.
I love that.
It was just like,
There's so many guys out there that used to play. Like, I don't want to admit this. However, that was the turning point.
Because Jason Demers said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turtle thing. And he's also a huge man.
Huge.
How about
He's like twice the size of Corey Perry.
He got beat to a puck by Arvidsson. Like Arvidsson out-battled Bischel for a puck.
Yeah.
There was that one shift where Arvidsson was like grinding away in the corners. Probably took 6 cross checks to the dome. Yeah. He's like folded in half.
He like you could have fit him in a suitcase, man.
That's how you win in the third period, baby.
That was crazy. That was
insane.
nuts.
I was just like, good thing he's flexible. The old hammies must be stretched out because, man.
It looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, he didn't look great. This tweet, courtesy of our friend Jason Greger, might be a soft J, Yason, I think. Oilers are the 8th team in NHL's expansion era from 1967 to now to reach the Stanley Cup final after losing their first 2 games of the postseason.
Pay attention to the names, everybody, and the years.
Here you go. 1992 Penguins.
Who won
1993 Montreal Canadiens.
Who won that cup?
2006 Hurricanes.
Damn it.
2011 Bruins. 2014 Los Angeles Kings. 2018 Washington Capitals.
Holy fuck.
They all won the cup.
This is too much.
It is a lot. It's a
Liam
lot.
needs his emotional donaire.
Yep.
Yes.
Do you want to do a donaire review or you want to save that for later?
I'll do it later on. That's fine.
In case you missed
That
it.
means colder.
Yeah.
Cool performer.
In case you missed it, we were at game 4 and Liam caught a donair. I don't know how you missed it. The fucking pictures everywhere.
I had a huge week.
You had a big
Huge week.
All right. Continuing on through the game 5 recap a little bit. Jeff Skinner season. What a story. Like Zach Hyman out for the playoffs, unfortunately had to get surgery after Mason Marchman hit him with jammed his wrist or something.
Yeah.
Cause when you looked at the replay, it didn't seem crazy. It just
Looked like he avoided a hit.
went totally wrong.
Yeah.
I thought he got him in the shoulder, and that's kind of
I thought he
avoided, and it's kind of a shoulder thing.
I thought it was a shoulder based on the replay because it looked like his arm was hanging.
And especially for a player to drop their stick immediately and go. You've seen it so many times. I just had to go out there and say
His collarbone.
that was not a dirty play by Mason Marchman. You're allowed to hit players in hockey.
Okay, but the puck was I'm not saying this was so I'd have no more than a 2-minute interference.
I'd have 0. He hit him.
But he's not going. The puck was at least 5, 6, 7 feet away from him
Last night, and nothing occurred from it because it was irrelevant. Dallas cleared the puck, and I think it was Kasperi Kapanen literally stood still and just ran towards the defender and hit him into the boards. And the puck was not close to him. That play happens every game.
It does. But like I said, it's
Just
nothing
very
more than a
unfortunate.
2-minute. But he knew he was going in there for a hit. He did definitely not mean to pop his shoulder, break his wrist, anything like that. But he knew he was going in. He'd already came out and said it.
Horrible luck.
He already 100% is. He already came out and said it. If the opportunity pops up, they're going to take their chance. They're going to take their opportunity on somebody, and that was him taking his opportunity.
I think that this is Zach Hyman doing a little bit too much self-preservation and just getting caught where if Marchman had connected with Hyman completely, I think we may be having a different conversation, maybe even talking about having a minor penalty there.
And that guy's going from the other direction.
I just think it's a missed hit that sucks. The outcome goes that way. Just like I thought that the Rupe Hintz slash by Darnell Nurse was a penalty, but it's just bad that it turned out that it hurt him for a game. So I don't know. It's just bad luck.
That could have hurt him, by the way.
Bad enough to keep.
Well, you know what?
One game, but
I think
48 hours later, he's ready to go.
I think he needs to thank Darnell Nurse because if a puck had hit him instead of a stick, he may have shattered his entire leg.
He would have evaporated into dust.
It's no coincidence he healed in Canada and America. Our health system is clearly better.
Touche.
Also,
God, I loved the way Bouchard did that.
little shout out to Bouch for a sneaky, not so sneaky.
Yeah, that wasn't sneaky at all.
How about that one guy on Twitter, Ralph or something like that? You guys see that guy?
Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, I believe Wreck-It Ralph. Former commentator of some NHL games. He was just losing his mind, all serious.
Yeah, I love it.
I can't remember his name.
There was a guy that kept popping up on my TikTok feed that was a Stars fan that streams all the time.
Oh,
and he was
that
melting
guy.
down.
The Star, whatever they were called.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy called me out. He called me out for calling him a frauds and flukes after game one.
What happened?
Yeah,
Well, I guess you're right.
I know.
A gentleman's sweep is what we call that.
Is that
You're
a
welcome.
broom with a mustache?
And that same kid also had, and I'm not trying to dunk on him, but I will.
I'm not trying to. I'm just going to.
No offense, but you stink.
His co-host was talking, I think it must have been after game 4 or game 3, and just being like, Edmonton is so much better than us. And he's like, no, they're not. And he's like, what do you mean? We just got destroyed. He's like, well, they're just outscoring us. That doesn't mean they're better. And he's like,
He goes, they're just executing better.
yes. Yeah, man, because we're better.
Skill, that's higher skill level. All right, just checking.
You know what the crazy thing is? I was driving home from Greta last night. I was thinking about was, if you really think about it, the last 2 losses the Oilers have been completely their own fault.
Yes.
The only team that can beat them is themselves.
There was the 0.4, which bad luck off Leon's stick. That's an Oilers.
Nice deflection, though.
Great deflection. Only Leon pulls those off.
Instincts.
Then in game 1, they just shit the bed in the third period.
For 7 minutes. and come
PK
back.
stunk for 6.5 minutes or whatever it was. Otherwise, we're talking about back-to-back sweeps over 2 really good teams.
Is it outside of game 1 we are 100% PK?
No, because they gave up. Well, they gave up one last night.
I know.
Rupe Hintz scored.
But last 2 games.
Oh, okay. I just remember the graphic on
Yeah, and Robertson scored in game 4.
Yeah, from game 3 against Vegas onwards, from game 4, they had only allowed a power play goal in 1 game, which was game 1 when they allowed 3.
It's just like, that's when you look at the Oilers PK and you see it's at 67%. It's like, man, those first 2 games against LA did some damage on the old PK number.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like, it's the same thing I've always had with save percentage. It's like, what have you done for me lately? I don't really care what happened in round 1 anymore.
It's funny because at the beginning of the series, they showed a graphic on TV, like the combined percentage of the special teams for the 4 teams left. Yeah, everybody's like 118, 119, whatever. And all 3 teams were like well over 110. And the Oilers were like 84.
Yeah. Greg was saying something on his show yesterday. The Oilers power play percentage is actually the same as what it was last season. The Oilers just averaged more power plays per game last season.
Power plays are way different. Power play opportunities. I can pull up the
maybe,
numbers.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Are we still, how are we, we can riff for a minute while you look it up. Are we still trending like we're just way under on power plays?
I'm sure he said something crazy like, this is going to
I don't believe the officiating was bad at all.
So
I think
the Oilers are in these playoffs. Out of the 16 teams that have played in these playoffs, the Oilers are averaging 2.5 power plays per game, and that is 15th out of 16 teams. They're tied for 14th.
And last year, I think it was just over 3 they were averaging a game.
Last year, the Oilers were middle of the pack at 3, so they're averaging about half a power play opportunity.
Where's Florida
less
right now?
per game? Where's Florida this year or last year?
Yeah, this year.
I'll tell you last year real quick because I have it. This year they're 3.29. They're 6th in the league.
Interesting.
Why is everybody getting more calls than we are? It's ridiculous.
Haven't earned it with the respect of winning yet.
Well, which is so stupid because, like, again, when the Kings and
I know.
the Kings and Hawks and all those teams, the Ducks, when we had to play them all those years, it was like, man, well, they get the respect of being and then for the Oilers, it's like, well, you don't want to gift them power plays. Come on, they're already good enough. You don't need to gift it. And the other teams, it was like, oh no, they get the calls because they're the veteran winning team, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Like in game 4. There was, in the first period alone, there was probably 3-4 missed.
They tried to give that one they gave Dallas the best opportunity possible in the first, 40 minutes of that game 4.
Yesterday,
They couldn't do it though.
Yesterday,
throw it a
we
rib
recorded
to him?
real life.
That really hurt. I'm so twisted.
We have an injury. Liam sneezed.
I'll play through it.
Play through it.
Sneezed and he hurt himself.
Don't Rupe hints your way off the podcast. Before we recorded real life yesterday, you had told me a stat, Tyler, that the Oilers were the Stars were something like 20-0-4 when those 2 refs were officiating one of their games. And I was just like, I hate when those stats come out because it's such a loser mentality to think you're like, well, Chris Rooney's the ref, albeit a terrible one.
Mick Magoo was out for us all the time.
Yeah, I just think like, who cares?
Who was?
Mick Magoo.
I thought you said.
Mick Magoo had an issue with Craig McTavish, I think.
Like super fan Magoo. He's against us.
Mick Magoo, the one that sticks out every time when I hear his name was the hand pass.
Hand pass from Horkoff to the bat. Yeah, the 0.4 or whatever, the pronger in that. Yeah. His hands were on a stick, you dumb me.
Yep. Anyway, the refs ultimately don't matter. Just be better.
Yeah, like I read that 20-0-4 and I was like, probably due to lose a game with these refs. And like, I don't know.
The same thing happened last year with Vancouver, didn't it? Like, didn't we play a game where they were undefeated under one
something
ref?
like that.
Something.
Yep.
And then for game 7, I think they had refs they hadn't won again with or something.
Yeah.
I want to go back to, we didn't even talk about it when I brought it up. Jeff Skinner got in for his second game of the playoffs. His first game was on April 21st. That was game 1 against LA. He finished at a -2. He had 1 assist in 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Last night, 12:37, scored a big goal. Look on his face. Amazing. What do you think of Jeff Skinner?
Because he was surprised. That puck was in the net for like 45 minutes before anyone realized it.
Yeah.
That was
I can't
a weird
remember.
goal.
Like,
I don't know who the
Hey,
It was Henrique.
Yeah, it's just like pointing down to the puck. Like the puck is in here. Yeah, guys, by the way, it's over here. It's in the net.
There was again, everyone was obviously so happy for Jeff Skinner and they do their little huddle in the corner on the sideboards. There was a shot when they got back to the bench though, where Jeff Skinner just has this massive smile and Henrique next to him is literally just like dead. Like we refocus, we get going, and Jeff Skinner's like golden retriever. He's like, let's fucking go. Best day of my life. I love him because of his mindset when he was sitting out too. Like the quote that Speck had, which I'll paraphrase, was basically like, I signed up to be on a good team. Sometimes this will happen on a good team. You're going to have to sit sometimes. There's going to be other good players. And like, I just love that he didn't sit there and bitch and moan and say, I'm playing good enough. I should be in the lineup. He was just like, no, yeah.
How much do you credit that kind of attitude? Because Troy Stetcher, same thing with Ekholm.
Kasperi Kapanen said the same thing too.
How much do you credit Chris Knobloch for creating a culture in the room where he has the communication and the trust of his players to know like he's making the best decision for the team, not the individuals.
Yeah, totally. I mean, listen, a guy like Victor Arvidsson, I think, was maybe a little bit more irritated that he was sitting out.
But you didn't see it in his game.
Yeah,
play.
but different guys are going to be motivated.
Yeah, I have no
differently
issues
too,
with what they say. It's what you do on the ice.
Yeah,
and I thought he
Arvidsson was good, but I like that Chris Knobloch kind of knows. Yeah, he's got the ability to reach into that well, and it's a next man up mentality in that room.
So there's 2 questions for game 1. Maybe 1.5. Like is anybody looking at Kulak?
No.
I'm looking at Klingberg more than I'm looking at Kulak because I want to put
You a Troy boy?
I want Stetcher in with Nurse because that pairing was working. I want Kulak back with Bouchard because that pairing was working. And I'll put Ekholm with Wallman because I think that pairing would work. And that way you're only like, it was working so well for those few games in
You
Dallas.
like Wally on his off wing?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Someone's got to do it. It was working so well early in the Dallas series. And then when you put Ekholm with Bouchard, it caused you to have to disrupt 2 pairings. You can only disrupt 1 and put Ekholm with Wallman.
That other pairing that everybody thought was so bad, like their fancy stats were pretty damn good.
I know.
Right? It's crazy.
It's crazy. But like, I don't know. Again, I really like John Klingberg. I don't think he's been...
Somebody clip that, please.
Yep.
I really like John Klingberg.
That's twice.
I think there's a better fit maybe with Stetcher in there.
I get how he seems to be the nurse whisperer.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, sure. But then there's the other question is what's with Connor Brown? Yeah. I believe Connor Brown probably plays in game 1.
Oh yeah,
he
flew
yesterday.
He flew, so
he's
so
just running out the clock on concussion protocol.
So now
today.
It's Jeff Skinner.
Yeah, it is Jeff Skinner.
Or is it Frederick? He wasn't very good last game. He's fine.
I think like against a game against a team like the Panthers, you want a big meaty dude in there. Yeah. That's what Trent Frederick is.
That's
last change though, so you could shelter Skinner a little if you want.
I do feel like
don't overcomplicate it.
I feel like Frederick was battling hard in game 5, which I liked. But
played 15 minutes, which I think would be a playoff high for him with the Oilers.
I think he's decent along the boards.
I just think like the Panthers are bullies. Like, why would you take out one of your guys that could be like, fuck you ain't bullying anybody?
Yeah, 100%. I think the thing is too, with guys like the Kulak and Nurse pairing, you're probably going to see a few more minutes go to Ekholm next game, I would think. Had a game under his belt.
How many did he play last night?
He played 15:35. Almost a minute of that was on the penalty kill. So like Kulak and Nurse played around 22 minutes each. On average, they were the highest 2 defensemen. So I think you can see that reduce a little bit and give more to Ekholm, and maybe Boucher gets a minute or 2 more too.
Because what was that come last night? He was under 16, right?
15:35.
Yeah.
Plus 2.
He actually played more than I thought he was going to in his first game back.
He played right around what I thought he was going to. I just thought he was going to play more on the penalty kill than at 5-on-5.
The one downside I did, like there were...
I guess he was in the box, sorry, for one of them, wasn't he? So
yeah, he was in the box for the Rupe Hintz goal. There was just too many times last night where they got pinned in the zone, like really pinned.
See, and I don't mind that so much because you see the team. I saw Doobie talk about this a couple games ago, but he referenced how well the Oilers go back to and find their structure. Right, so if you get running around a bit, the other team's going to get momentum, right? Dallas is a decent team. They're going to have time when they have puck control. They're going to get on a long shift or something like that. There's going to be times when they have the advantage like that. But I really like how solid the Oilers get back into their positions. Nobody really chases too far. No one's looking at another guy trying to make up for his mistakes or anything like that. Everyone just finds their spot and allows the team to move around them. Don't give up any high danger chances. And if they want to send wristers from the blue line, go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Go for it. But do not run around. The more you run around, the more you take the chance of taking a penalty, right? You start getting your stick into bodies.
Which is ultimately what happened with that comp.
Yeah, so like find your position and let the other team run around you for a minute. If that's what happens, they're not going to score from the perimeter.
Moving along, Victor Arvidsson, we already talked about him getting crumpled into a ball in the corner. He made a really nice pass on Janmark's goal.
Yeah.
Really nice pass.
It's the nice part about having really skilled players up and down your lineup is that those plays can happen with your 4th line on the ice.
You know, he still played under 12 minutes, which I find interesting. Like clearly Chris Knobloch, he's limiting Arvidsson's exposure.
Well, there's no PK. There's no PK. There's no power play time there. I wonder how many penalties were there last night?
2.
One each side? No, just
Oilers had
for
2 up.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think it was 2.
I think it was 2-2.
power plays.
2-2. So that's 8 minutes right there that he's not going to be out there for. Oh, 12 minutes seems decent for a fourth line.
12:01 plus 1 point.
It was a playoff high for Frederick as well for minutes.
4 hits for Victor.
RV.
3 hits against.
We're all
Also,
thinking RVs.
highlight of the night for Victor Arvidsson when he lined up for a one-timer on the boards and the guy was stood right in front of him, and Kulak basically had no option but to skate directly his way. Awesome. Only Victor Arvidsson would be like, yep, I'm ready. Let's do it.
But if he connected, let me tell you,
Oh, yeah.
that
What a
baby's
gun.
flying. He does have a great shot, though.
He has a great
I
shot.
really wish he would use it more. Another thing, got to mention, me and Rick have been pumping this guy's tires all year, and I'm going to do it again.
Please.
T.S. Yanmark, playoff Yanmark.
Let's go. The
More
janitor
goals
just
in the
cleaning it up,
playoffs
baby.
than he had in the regular season.
And he's used his stick and scored on a goalie for all of them.
Yeah.
Proud of the guy.
It's like Hyman with his hits. He's got more in the playoffs than he did in the regular season.
Saving himself, yeah.
Yeah, he's always saving himself. Shout out to Matthias Yanmark, playoff Yanmark. Other guy, you got to give some love to. The old boy, Corey Perry, 7 goals in the playoffs.
How wide open was he?
It's
There
ridiculous.
was nobody in the building for that goal.
Cody Ceci had him and then was like, and then left.
Cody
Where did he go?
also-
Forget a hot dog? He was
Yeah, I
barely
think
in
so,
the.
yes.
Like there was barely a Dallas Star in the picture other than the goaltender.
To their
Cody
credit,
CC left.
He's like,
to the Oilers' credit, though, like McDavid and Draisaitl put him in a spin cycle.
Oh, yeah.
Like Connor rimmed it back around the boards.
Yeah.
Leon picked it up. He goes, I'm going to put a perfect pass on your tape, bank shot off the back of the boards, and then boom, right to Corey in the net.
but again, like just play a tight box.
Yeah,
don't let
they were not
anybody in the middle.
Well,
That box was wide open.
Or alternate angle, Cody CC doing us a solid
Yeah,
Sleeper agent.
multiple times in that series.
I like it.
You know,
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Vancouver.
yeah.
I don't know why you gave up on pods.
oh,
Well,
he's
Rick Tocchet's such a good coach. You can just identify players that can get his team to the next level.
see how
Have
he
you not
does it from-
noticed how well Vancouver have done?
Great.
No, he's gone. Oh, weird.
Speaking of Vancouver, they're also going to lose Brock Besser for 0. So, anyway,
God.
Corey Perry.
Don't worry, Canada. There's still the Oilers for you.
Plenty of love for Corey Perry's. The great season just continues. Before we move on to the betting segment, Ask the Idiots and Hot and Cold Performers, it had nothing to do with this series, but me and Dan were talking about it before we started recording. I just wanted to get everybody's take on Paul Maurice telling Rod Brind'Amour he wasn't allowed to shake the players' hands.
I don't think he said like that. He said this is what I think, and I'm completely fine with it.
And I think Rod Brind'Amour should have been, you can go fuck yourself.
And I have no issue with that either, though. But I will say this: I do think the coaches and the assistant coaches. So one, like your head coach, your 2 assistants, they can go in the line. But yeah, like the tracksuit guys, stop it.
But they usually don't.
At the end, sometimes you'll see like just a massive line, and it's suit, and it's suit, and it's suit, and it's suit, and
But
it's
I
suit.
also don't have a problem with
You guys
that.
weren't out there. These players just put their lives on the line.
But I
and
just,
some
like-
dude eating popcorn wants to come down just so his mom can see him on TV and shaking hands. Get the fuck out of
But like
here.
with the Rod Brind'Amour thing, it's like, why wouldn't the players want to hear like congratulatory messages from a coach?
Also, too, like there was that video of Rod Brind'Amour and Brett Pesce in the first round. Like Pesce
Big hug,
played for them, and they was like, and I'm sure that's why Brind'Amour wanted to be in the lineup. Like,
They have all those connections like during practice and one. Like you see
I
the
just think
guys
it's
out
different,
there
man.
and
It's
dude
just
coming
like
in
you went
shorts.
to war for 6, 7, 4 or 5.
But I
6,
do
7
think
games.
that Maurice was like more talking, and I obviously all of them, but he did refer to the fact, just suits and track suits. Like
to me, it's
head
another,
coach, 2 assistant coaches, no problem.
It's
I-
another
The rest-
example
I've
of
never
Paul
seen
Maurice
Oilers do
saying,
that.
"Pay attention to me."
God, that guy
He
does not
loves being the
shut
smartest
up.
guy in the room.
Oh, you are undervaluing the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know he just smoked him 6-1 twice on home ice, but boy, oh boy, those guys tried
Have you
hard.
heard of Ken Hitchcock?
I couldn't care
Ken
less.
Hitchcock
this
used to
guy,
paint
he's
us
just-
as the greatest thing in the world
it
back when
just-
he was with
it-
Dallas.
It just
The
irritates
Oilers are
me.
incredible.
Well,
This Edmonton
don't be a
Oilers
main
team is.
character, like no one's like same with Pete DeBoer. If it's truly about the players, then shut up.
I mean,
Like-
they probably don't want to be the interviewed, but that's
I just
I
think,
think
you
Paul
put,
Maurice wants to be interviewed.
some guys.
yes,
do.
Like,
I agree with that, and I think that my issue is he did this with Craig Berube as well.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place, and it ain't after you just eliminated the other team.
Yeah.
Like you could reach out to these head coaches ahead of time and have that conversation totally for it, but don't do it right in the middle of the situation where Rod Brind'Amour, who I hate that I'm sitting here defending, but has literally that's a no-win situation for him anymore. He's now lost the game.
You can say no.
Yeah, but then he makes Paul Maurice look like the god, or he doesn't do it and he makes Paul Maurice look like he's the god, but he's dictated now to two coaches
Paul Maurice's
how they're going to do the
He's
handshake.
allowed to have his opinion and he move on. You're like, I respect your opinion.
The part where Maurice lost me was when he was like, I like the idea of the broadcast and the camera just showing the players. And I'm like, what are you fucking?
There literally is video of him shaking hands with the Oilers after last year.
I know, but
He
like,
should.
yeah, but like,
Of course he should.
But that's where I'm like the coaches. But yeah, like
so now what Paul Maurice is telling us what looks good on TV, and that's
no,
what
it's only his opinion. Why does everyone got to shit on him for his opinion?
Because I think his opinion.
You can't have an opinion.
It comes
You
from a
must
place of
like my
arrogance.
way or
But we're
not
also
the way.
giving our opinion that he's just
I know.
Yeah,
attention
but
coach.
we're also sitting there going, it's arrogant. It's this, that, the other thing.
is.
It's just
He
his, it's
He's
just
very
his opinion.
arrogant.
It's his opinion.
But
That's our opinion,
Dan's
though.
right
No, you're
in
calling names at that point. It's different.
Dan's right in the sense of it's not like these coaches don't all have each other's phone number. Like call Brind'Amour before the series and be like, hey, Rod, whatever.
I'm not against that.
And he did it to
Why not?
Blue Bay
Hello,
after game
Bob.
7.
Yeah, hello,
That's the
Bob.
part. I think that was the part that like got me the most kind of just like, what the hell are we doing here? If he's talking about, he's like laying it out that he already did this with Craig. He's already done this once. And it's a weird thing that he didn't think was okay.
Notice it.
Dan, the
Did the
camera,
Oilers-
the camera didn't catch you the first time.
After
because there was
after
nobody in the building when those shakes were happening.
after the Woodcroft stance, do they all break off and go back to the line and do it again?
Yeah. Coaches, they always
Right,
shit-
the Woodcroft stance, they do that. Now, do they all fucking book it over?
the coaches go into the line. Yeah, I haven't seen much training stuff in the line, to be honest.
I don't.
I think
haven't either.
at the end of the series,
The
at the end of
Stanley Cup
playoffs, then it's just like fucking 34.
But I think that's fine because everyone's on the ice celebrating already.
Yeah, go celebrate your team though. Do you think?
I think they're just
I don't
trying to
want
show
Connor.
respect.
I don't want Connor McDavid have to go shake the hands of the fucking video coach of Florida after he just had his heart ripped out.
I think it's blown. I think those people are just trying to show respect to the opponent as well. Like, imagine what people would say if that line was going on and those guys just stood there and waited on the ice. I think it's way more respectful. If you're on the ice, just go shake their hand in the cup final, for example.
At the end of the day, we're also talking about like what, 20 seconds?
And
Really, half of it is like good luck.
none of those suits, none of those tracksuits are going to be upset if Connor McDavid peeled off and didn't finish the handshake
Connor
line.
McDavid's
Like,
going to get blown apart if he peels off and doesn't shake their hands.
I disagree.
100%.
I disagree. Well, just like we're saying,
Jamie Ben's in line and doesn't shake Brad, what's his face's last name? He skates
The
away.
trainer?
He skates away. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name on the spot.
Yeah.
But he's about to go there and he skates away because
I
he's
don't
next
think
up. You're
anybody has
okay with
any
it?
issue with that. I don't think anybody says anything.
I don't think that's going to be
I
true.
don't
We
think
don't
it-
even like the fact that Paul Maurice said that. When someone goes there and does something like that, you're not
I don't
going
like
to like it 100%.
I don't like the time frame in which Paul Maurice did it and the place that he did it.
I just think Paul Maurice makes everything about himself. So that's my opinion.
I love Paul Maurice as coach. I think he's incredible.
He's a great coach.
Good coach.
But I just think he's annoying.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
If I got him around here, I might.
Well, you got another
Right now.
opportunity.
Oh, no way. We're fucking.
Yeah,
We're almost damn near kissed yesterday when we
It
saw each
happened.
other.
It's going to happen. We're mortal enemies right now, me and Mr. Maurice, but so, maybe afterwards.
Anyway, hit us up. Let us know on social. What do you think? A lot of people talking about it. Thought we might as well. Went longer than I thought.
Just a
Have we ever had a
quick
segment that was
topic.
that was shorter than you expected?
Yep. Away she goes. Want to get in on the action? Stanley Cup playoffs? Bet365, they've got you. From game props, player props, totals, and the money line, you can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champs, Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. Official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please be 19 years old or older. Please play responsibly. Not a whole lot coming out so far because we got 10 years until game one. So just going to look at some of the futures, shall we? Currently, the Oilers are favorited to win the series at minus 120.
And the favorite has won 13 of the last 14 Stanley Cups.
Which one didn't they win?
Was it last year?
I don't know.
No, Florida was favored last year. I don't know.
Panthers are even money. Just to finish that off. I'm looking for value. That's what I like to do. Man, I was one Kane goal short on hitting that parlay, boys. Like,
I know.
that wraparound, and I was like, there's no goalie. I'm look, no 9-1. Damn it!
Like
is there
that,
9-1?
That wraparound, you see it like on the overhead where it's in between. I'm like, give me the horn. Give me the fucking horn. Give me the horn. We never get the horn.
I was like, man, if you could just close this on an empty netter, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd have been great. To score 2+ goals in the Stanley Cup final, Evander Kane plus 125, or the one I really like, 2+ goals in the series, Evan Bouchard plus 210.
Oh yeah, that's good. What about Corey Perry at plus 150?
I like it too.
I went a step further with Corey Perry.
For 2 shots yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I did Corey Perry 3+ goals at plus 500.
Whew.
I did
Getting frisky out here.
I did Matthias Janmark at plus 1,200 to get 2 goals or more.
How many did you get?
I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
Just one in that series?
One, I think,
Did you get 2?
he got one.
1 per series.
Yeah.
He's good for 1 per series.
You know, he did get 2 goals last series. It's
free hockey,
led
man.
all Finns in scoring, and he's plus
He led all Finns in scoring.
plus
All for a bargain deal.
yeah, plus 600.
And both his feet are in one piece.
Kasperi Kapanen is plus 600 to score 2 goals in this series.
How about Kasperi Kapanen, just a merchant on the empty net?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Thank
I
you.
love it.
play next to Leon, like plus 600.
My heart, my blood pressure, they both thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Like to be in the rink at Rogers Place for game 4 and he goes out and closes it out with that empty netter.
I was at
Relief.
Oh, I had like the towel around my neck, gripping on both sides. And
I
like,
didn't even get a chance to talk to you.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. And bang,
You were
right away.
sitting dead across from me.
Yeah.
You're very fun to watch when he's up in the fucking seats and he's yelling and he's animated. I was having a good time. I was like, hey, Dad, look at that guy over there. He goes, oh, he's really into it. I'm like, yeah, that's Rick.
I was walking up the stairs after the first period, and some lady is like, "Are you okay?"
No,
I was like, "Yeah, I do this often." No, she's like, "I think you're gonna die."
there was one
Yeah, not
part where
yet.
you just had like your
Oh,
face in
yeah.
a towel.
Yeah, it was tough,
so
man.
good. The other one I'm looking at, fellas, most points in the series. Connor McDavid plus 130 or Leon Draisaitl plus 260. Something to think about.
Who led this last series in points? Connor or Leon?
Nuge.
Nuge.
Yeah, Nuge.
Who beat? Yeah, but Connor and Leon. Who was that?
McDavid.
Yeah, McDavid.
And I think I'd probably go the McDavid route because I think for having 4 maxed out home games, you'll see Leon in that same role he had against
And the look on Connor's face.
Vegas too, I guess.
The look on Connor's face. It's Connor.
And what was McDavid's odds there? Sorry.
Plus 130.
So to put that into comparison for everyone,
Yes.
so you can do the thing too, where it's like, I think this guy will get this many points or more. It goes up to 8 or more points, and Connor McDavid is still minus 220 to get 8 or more points in the series. And you cannot get any higher.
That's insane.
Draisaitl
pretty
is
good.
minus 130, by the way.
How about the goal he scored last night? Like, number one, shout out to the hockey gods for that lovely bounce.
Yeah.
Off Matthias
I
Ekholm's
still haven't
bounce.
seen it. Like I know
where
where
the
everything
puck is?
goes, but and I know it goes off Ekholm, but to me, Ekholm's like facing the boards and the puck rockets off him somehow.
Straight to the fastest man on earth.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Rupe Hintz water skiing off him. Didn't matter. Somehow Casey DeSmith's in the corner.
When he made that move at that speed, you can't.
He's
you
the
can't
only
stop it.
player, and like maybe Nate at times, but like he's the only player that can move that fast and still have his hands keeping up to his legs.
It's crazy.
It's wild. Because like he's flying in there at 2,000 miles an hour, and that deke is tight.
Toit.
Yeah. That is
He's like below the circles before he starts doing anything.
Yeah.
And then again, like DeSmith bit so hard on it, he ended up in, I'm pretty sure he was in
Got a skate stuck
Ranger
in the boards.
Stadium.
The ballpark, yeah.
There's an interesting one here.
What's interesting?
Shots on goal in the series.
Go ahead.
But it starts at 20, which feels high. So McDavid is the favorite plus 115, but last series he had 15 shots in 5 games. I don't think any of those will hit.
20 shots is a lot.
Yeah, like Evander Kane is plus 320. He's pretty good at hitting his shot prop, which is 3. So that would mean he had 18 last series, I would think.
Only one I sprinkled on, he hasn't come close to hitting it, but I juiced up that Bouchard one into 30 shots in the series because he hasn't been shooting the puck a lot. He had like 8 last round, so it's a long ways to go. But in round 1 against LA, he'd have games. He had like a 9-shot game.
Yeah,
like
true.
if Bouchard were to rip off like one banger, then he could be in a decent spot.
What's your payout looking right now for your Conn Smythe bet?
Worse?
Pardon me?
It got Stu Skinner's Conn Smythe odds got worse because the win
there's less people in the pool.
I mean, that should improve it because there's fewer options.
Do you think it was because he had an 824?
Maybe. My cash out now is $10.
So even money.
They're saying you could get out of this with nothing.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, I thought you because yesterday was what, $14 yesterday when we talked about it?
Yeah.
I thought you'd been up over 20.
Like they scored 3 yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So 1, we gave it away. 2, we deflected our own net.
1 went in on the ice through his legs from the top of the circle.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
But that shouldn't affect his Conn Smythe odds.
Not like that.
Yeah. The only other bet I have, Kasperi Kapanen, 2 or more goals is plus 600.
Okay.
Dude's going to hit an empty netter.
He's going to hit probably a couple. I love that the Oilers just saved all their empty netters for the playoffs.
That's very
nice of them.
I don't really like to do this one. I won't be, but
you should.
Stanley Cup handoff.
It's Nuge. 2,000%.
I think it's dry.
It's dry then, Nuge.
There's no way. Let me work through this with you.
But that's not even what I was going to say.
Okay.
But no, you go ahead because I'm curious because Corey Perry plus 1,200 is interesting.
Perry will be like 4 or 5.
Those two love Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
They know the history. They know he's been here through the decade of darkness. They know he's never complained, asked for out, goes out and does his business. All situations. 1,000%. It is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
I think they want the iconic photo of Connor passing it to Leon.
They can do that next year.
From the Florida perspective, obviously they won
I can tell you the order.
Huh?
Connor to Nuge to Leon to Nurse.
To Nurse?
Yep.
So if you had to guess, if Florida wins, hopefully they don't. Who do you think they would pass the trophy to? Like, who would be your guess?
I don't know. TV would be off at that point.
Yeah. Off to whoever.
This year, I'd probably say Brad Marchand.
Brad Marchand. I would think that too.
What did they do last year?
Well, no.
I was already out of the building.
I don't know.
I didn't see it until just last night, and I think it was Barkov to
Bobrovsky?
I thought it was Kachuk.
Oh, it might have been Okposo. Might have been.
Oh, right.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Shoot.
Okay, so
I don't know. I was already out of the building at that point last year. So
Nate Schmidt is the odds-on favorite for him to get past the cup if they were to win,
Which is so weird.
which is very strange. Marchand is
Schmidt there
1,000. Bobrovsky's 1,400.
It was Bobrovsky last year.
Bobrovsky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, too,
You looked it up on your I thought you went for the video or something. I was like, delete everything off that.
No, I haven't
If
watched the
You don't
video on
want to see that
purpose.
anymore.
here's my angle on why it might not be Nuge.
Go ahead.
Darnell Nurse, was he not a groomsman at McDavid's wedding?
Mm-hmm.
He is plus 1,000.
But
So is
so is
Leon.
Leon, though.
But I just don't think it's going to be Leon. Like,
That's
I
why
just
it's
think
Nuge.
I
if
think
you're
it's
picking between Nuge and Nurse,
It's not close.
I really wonder.
I don't think
Odds
it's
on is not
close.
close.
I think there's a little bit of a hierarchy in the team. Like Connor Leon. It'll be Connor Leon, and then it goes to Nuge.
I
Yeah,
just think they're
maybe.
going to respect the history of what he's done.
And then it'll go to
55
Nurse.
coaches.
Then it goes to Nurse. Then it goes to
Derek Ryan,
Corey
same
Perry.
odds as Nurse.
Corey Perry, I think it's it.
Like, how does that even make sense?
It's old.
I
He
guess.
old. He hasn't
He
won
comes
since his
waddles over
golden
in his
best.
suit.
Yeah, slips with the puck.
Yeah.
All I-
750 by the way. Plus
all I hope
7,500.
is that Hyman gets a real good cast. All he has to do is lift 34 and a half pounds above his head.
Oh man, I don't think
He can
it's-
one arm that.
Yeah.
He'll grab it by like the top part of the cup.
Like Big Boy used to hold the burgers.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
It's Nuge though. Save your money.
Hopefully we see it.
Hopefully
I
we
will
see it.
cry.
Listen, I guarantee I will cry.
Oh, that's going to be a
They
mess.
did give it to Bob last year.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Hate that I had to go watch so much of this.
There's an echo.
I found the article that
You just found the article.
if you just Google Panthers Cup handoff,
Oh, I wasn't listening to anything. I was scrubbing
Oh, we know.
highlights.
Now you have that in your fucking on your computer.
Yeah, that's in your search.
You need
gotta
to get
clear
that
them
thing
cookies.
cleared now.
To be fair, I'm good for one of those an episode where I get too dialed in on finding an answer to something and I don't know anything else that's going on.
And to you, Tyler. Oh, we doing cold performance?
Ever do keep the victory now?
Victory? Oh, okay. No, that's a Tuesday thing. All right. Again, it's Nuge. Please, God, please.
Just win it.
I will cry.
I literally don't care if it goes from Connor to Daryl.
I mean,
I don't care who.
Daryl Cates. I don't care. Just win me the goddamn cup. It's not going to happen, but anyways, if that's the way it went, I do not give a
That'd
shit.
be a
Just win the
story.
damn cup.
Harrison was in the Western Conference champs photo.
Yeah.
Good.
He was chilling.
Good.
Was he
Give it
down
to
there?
Harrison. I don't give a shit.
like
I
on
don't
the
give just
far
win.
right.
He's been to every game.
Yeah, he's bopping all over the place.
Also, there's behind the Oilers, there's a bare chest.
Yeah, shirts off for Horkoff.
Yeah.
And well, at first I saw it last night drunk. I'm like, oh my God, some lady flashed her boobs. That's crazy.
No, I think it's a dude.
Boy.
It's like a 12-year-old boy.
But then
Ew.
Banjo guy's in the picture too.
Yeah, he's over on the left.
Also, shout out to Banjo Guy. He posted that video
Skinner,
on his
yeah.
socials of Stu giving him a little love.
That was cool. That was really cool.
I hope no one talked to him in the stall.
Yeah, leave Banjo guy alone when he's in the stall. Okay?
What if it was Stuart Skinner trying to get his attention?
He's like,
Oh, in the
Stu, you
stall?
give me 5 minutes. You give me 5 minutes. This Dallas barbecue, I'm telling you, wreaking havoc on my guts. All right, let's do Ask the Idiots, boys. I got 3 questions for you this week. Courtesy of our friends at Greta, come join us for the game day viewing parties. We got pregame, we got postgame. Tyler was hosting last night, did a great job. Also, really fun to go to our viewing parties and see the unicorns that come out.
Yeah, there's a couple good
ones.
jerseys.
There were some good ones in the bar last night. I'm going to save those for a little later though. First question, Tyler. So it comes in from Dale. 1 pro and 1 con about facing the Florida Panthers.
Pro, I think it's very hard to beat the Edmonton Oilers in 1 best-of-7, never mind 2 of them. So I just think, again, the series last year, Florida showed they were like the experienced veteran team early, and that wasn't something the Oilers were ready for. And this year, Florida doesn't have that sort of same advantage over them. So that's a big pro for me. Con, very long flight.
Yeah, it's
A lot of distance between the two. Maybe we could have played someone who's a little closer.
Dan,
That's
1
all.
pro, 1 con.
The pro for me is the revenge is a dish best served warm and recent. So the fact that we're going to be able to come back and right the wrongs of last year, I think, is my biggest pro. And my biggest con is that Brad Marchand is a Florida Panther. And I mean, it just had to be him that I would have to watch them go through. But yeah, Brad Marchand being a Florida Panther is annoying to me.
What do you got, Rick?
I love Brad. The pro, I think this is just our year. The con, we have the ability to lose this on our own. We have the ability to shoot ourselves in the foot.
Liam, what do you got? Pro or con?
Pro, home ice advantage. That is a big pro.
Yeah.
Con, they're a pretty good team.
Yeah, they're a great team.
Wish we were playing.
Did not
someone
fluke their way in here?
No, they certainly
Just
did not.
checking.
Do you remember a few years ago when Nashville made the cup final?
Yeah.
It's like, you kind of knew they weren't going to win. Like, I wish we were just playing one of those teams. You know, like Ottawa,
that'd be cool.
Ottawa
Give me
somehow
Carolina?
says like, yeah, exactly. Like that would have been nice. So yeah,
Put
they're
Dallas
really
in
good.
there?
But home ice, Dallas would have. Do you know what would have been our first round matchup? It was 1-8. And the other side would have
What
been
did you just say?
If it was 1-8, Dallas would have been our first round matchup.
Yep.
3 versus 6. And the other side would have been the first round matchup too. Which I don't really buy into too much because it would have changed. Like it would have been different. The schedule's different. You'd probably try a little harder at the end of the season.
We've been, and I think I said it out in the room there before, maybe not on mic, but we've been around long enough to see this is the way the playoffs were when you're younger. So it reminds me of grocery store bags. When we grew up, it was paper. Then all of a sudden, like, that's not good. Got to go to plastic. Well, you're older. Like, these two don't know shit.
I know.
These, yeah.
You're looking for colors.
And then we go from paper to plastic. We go from what we used to do to 1 versus 8. All of a sudden, that's not good enough anymore. Got to go back the other way again. Like you're never going to be, no one's ever going to be happy with everything, right? So whatever.
Interesting that Savoy and Philp were not in the team photo yesterday, but Cam Denny and Colin D'Elia snuck in.
Nice guys.
Sneaky little buggers.
Yeah, you gotta weasel your way in there. You think they were just like, hey, you want to scooch down? Just scooch down.
Did you guys see the video of Leon putting his hand on Connor's shoulder and he does like a little, his little fingers crawl up his back and then he grabs him. It's the funniest fucking video. I need to show you guys.
There's also the hilarious video of Leon carrying the Clarence Campbell Cup.
He looked like he was carrying
Watermelon.
the boozy watermelon into the party.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Right? Like, I got it, boys. Don't worry. This thing's been in the fridge for 3 days.
Bonus.
How about them FaceTiming Hyman in the dressing room?
Love it.
And Hyman taking the call tarps off.
Well, you got it.
Yeah.
He's in bed.
If you're not naked watching your boys play hockey, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's just guys being guys. You know? Bonus Ask the Idiots question from me. Thoughts on the boys touching the trophy?
Couldn't care less. It doesn't mean anything to me. I think it's cool. I think everyone should pick up the trophy.
This
Also,
coming from the guy who eats all the bananas when he gets nervous.
I'd moved on. I eat don't ask.
I think again, if you know anything about the tradition of it, it makes sense, right? Like
Didn't touch it last year.
Yeah. And you lost, so then you touch it the year after. Sid did the same thing.
Wayne didn't touch it.
Wayne
Lost.
touched it every
Touched
year.
it. Won. I don't think they didn't touch it in 83.
83, they touched it. The only years they always haven't touched the cup are 06 and last year. The trophy, I guess. The bowl. It's like
Yeah, it is
clearly
like
a bowl.
It's clearly a bowl. But yeah, okay, then
Think
Sid.
that lid's fastened or does it come off? You put candy in there.
You put something in
You
there.
open it up and it's just like Werther's in there. Like, all right.
That's what happens when Derek Ryan gets it.
Reversing the order. This one comes in from Devin. Liam, how much credit do you give Stan Bowman for the second trip back to the final?
Tons. Every decision he made has worked out great. Like what has been his worst one? Klingberg in the regular season. That was his worst decision.
And you got him for the playoffs.
Actually, I mean, I should take that back. His worst decision was not bringing back Holloway or Broberg, but he's been able to
Just
figure
Holloway
it out.
for me.
Yeah, just Holloway for me too, probably. But he's been able to figure it out. I'm not even that disappointed in those moves anymore. But if I had to label it, that would be. I would give him tons and tons of credit. Like the Wallman-Klingberg duo has changed the entire perspective of the blue line.
They're new friends.
Yeah, they're bros.
Huge amount of gratuity is owed to him. I think what he's done with dude had like a full roster when he got here.
I think you mean gratitude. Gratuity would be, isn't that what you tip?
Yeah, no, I'll tip him for this.
Oh, you're going to get, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
But like the little one he folded in the hand.
Yeah.
And the little fucking handoff. That's the one.
Thank you for the clean zone exit.
Yeah, thank you. Stanley Cup. No, he deserves all the credit in the world.
Dan, what you got?
Yeah, everything from the start of the season on. He was brought in, I think, to be able to make those tweaks to the team, just like he did with Chicago in their cup runs or cup run. But you give him tons of credit for everything that he's done. The Kapanen move looks genius now. Podkolzin, just every little tweak that he made to this lineup, and you parcel that in with some of the no movement clauses, the no trade clauses that we found out about mid-season. Thanks, Tyler, for not telling us. So give him tons of credit.
What do you think, Tyler?
Eve Podkolzin, great move. And listen, I know you would love to have Dylan Holloway here, whatever, but like his hands were kind of tied. I mean, not matching on Dylan Holloway, though, is probably the only thing you can point to and be like, okay, wish you would have done that a little bit differently, but he recovered for it because the Kapanen waiver claim has come up big in Podkolzin, $1 million next year. That's just a bargain.
I didn't answer the first question. So 1 pro, home ice advantage. That's huge. I mean, Rogers Place is going to be on fire next week. The con is the fucking NBA, the 2-day gaps on the road games. They're like, how much credit do I give Stan Bowman? I think like the offer sheet thing, as much as I wish he would have matched Dylan Holloway, the table was set before he even got here. And he had to kind of react and navigate through it. And, he went out and made that trade for Podkolzin. Shout out to Vancouver. It's kind of a little bit of a hedge. And I just thought since that, I'd love to have Holloway. I think he would be a huge add to this team. But outside of that, everything has just been really, really sneaky good. Like Jake Wallman, no insiders had him as being available. None.
I did.
Tyler and Liam.
We deserve more respect.
Yeah. We never said he was available. We just kept for like 2 months being like, man, can you imagine if Jake Wallman was available? That'd be cool. And then well.
We got to get these 2 insiders t-shirts.
Yep.
There you go.
I want my flowers for that one.
Nation
Some guy
Insiders.
yesterday was tweeting me hate, being like, hey, idiot, remember when you said Jamie Alexiak would be a good ad? I'm like, what does that have to do with any of it? What? He probably would have been.
I mean, who knows? He still might have been.
So how much credit does he deserve? Plenty.
Yeah.
Tons. Kapanen, waiver claim. Awesome. Again, that was a waiver claim on a guy who has 20 goal season in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Podkolzin is looking like a just absolute demon on the forecheck.
The 2 guys he had on the blue line are massive.
Wallman, I love the guy. He makes me chuckle when he takes slap shots. I won't lie to you. He's swinging from Mars. I like it. Klingberg all of a sudden is just like those freshly repaved hips are looking real good.
I honestly cannot believe how different he is.
It is stunning.
And I'm not even upset at what I was saying about him.
Because it was all accurate.
It was so bad.
He was terrible.
And all of a sudden, it's how can you not play this guy?
I think there's still times when, maybe the forward will catch a step when he's going wide or whatever.
yeah.
But I think Klingberg is so smart that he still finds a way to kind of angle it out anyway. Really good stick.
Yeah.
He's long. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Final question. Rick, this one comes in from Big Kiwi.
Let's go.
We love Big Kiwi. Do you think either Bush or Stu make Team Canada
I put
squad
them both
for the
on the
Olympics?
roster.
We know Connor's a lock. Are there any others on the Oil you'd consider?
I put them both on the roster
Pete DeBoer's a coach.
for now.
Oh, so he knows all about Stu.
Casey DeSmith's goal.
You look at the 3 goalies that were in that last tournament for us. Stu's playing better than all of them. And I don't know how you don't put Bush on that blue line.
No, Thomas Harley, Rick, of course.
Bush has to be on that Olympic team now. That is
Even if Stu's number 3, I don't care. He's one of the best Canadian goaltenders right now. You play a strong game in front of him, you know exactly what he's bringing.
I think Bennington probably keeps his name in the pool there and can't be taken out of there. So I'm with you, Rick. I think that Skinner is probably just at least your third goalie at this point, but at the very least he has to be on the team. I think Team Canada would be embarrassed if they leave Bouchard off.
Tyler, what do you think?
they're going to fucking overreact to the Oilers being slumping for the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah.
But Hyman should be there. Bush should be there. Skinner should be there.
Liam?
Yeah, he should be there. He's better than Montembeau. Skinner, unbelievable. He was there. I can't see Colin Parayko making the team again. Bush should be there. He's been the best defenseman in the playoffs.
Do you guys think that if Hyman is out for a little bit, that might just hold him off again?
I don't think he'll make it anyway.
Yeah.
He has fallen off. I mean, he was a 50-goal scorer, and now he's just not.
Yeah.
And I think that one's fair.
Yeah, fair.
You kind of peaked to that 50. That was even his average, whatever. What are you going to call his average? Like 35?
He still had 27 goals this year.
Yeah, he's a 30-goal scorer.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think you'd still find a spot on him just because of that whole connection with him and Connor.
Bush and Stu, yes, 100%. That's for me, Big Kiwi. I say yes. All right, fellas, let's wrap up the podcast. Hot, cold performers. No sponsor on this one. So thankfully, Liam wrote a check this morning, presented by Liam. Everything's coming up, Liam, this week. So we're going to start off with our veggies for our hot and cold performers. Might as well start off with the sponsoree. Liam, you're up. Cold performer of the week.
Cold performer of the week. Well, I mean,
How are you never prepared for this?
I got 2 in my head. I'm going to go with the one I can say more for. My nephew was in town last week, so we watched some movies together. And I watched the movie Tarzan with him. That is some dark
Which one?
shit. The first animated one. They're
like
crazy. Parents die from a jaguar attack. The baby gorilla gets just torn apart. The villain gets hung by vines and you see it.
It happens.
Insane movie.
The only Tarzan to me is Brendan Fraser. Thank you.
Isn't it George of the Jungle?
It was George.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Same thing though.
Same, yeah. Basically
It
the
is
same
the
thing.
same,
They're cousins. Rick, cold performer of the week. Oh, sorry.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
George of the Jungle. Great movie.
I'll watch that later.
So it's preseason time for the CFL. I understand that TSN only gets 1 or 2 games for whatever reasons, but then you need to rely on the CFL webpage to show the games, and they've been dropping the ball on it.
What the hell is going on?
Elks preseason game tonight, I believe.
Yes, sir.
The Commonwealth, right?
Yep. Dan, you're up. Cold performer of the week.
Well, I received a gift that I haven't received for a long, long time in my life this past weekend, but I got a bike and I went to ride it this week, actually taking an Oilers jersey to the FedEx depot to be taken to Germany for one of our friends in Germany, and I fell off my bike and I ate shit. And
I saw your hand.
Yeah,
I wonder if Dan fell.
I'm kind of mangled. I think I may have cracked some ribs, bruised a sternum. I've been when you hit the ground at 38 years old on a bike. I bounced up. I was
What
up.
happened?
The dirt hills.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Came to a major intersection and was paying attention to all the cars going around. I think I may have hit gravel, and then it was one of those things I knew I couldn't do anything about it, so I went right into the ground, bounced my head off the ground. It was awesome. shout out to the FedEx Depot for piecing me back together, especially my thumb. My thumb was leaking pretty bad. But
excuse me, do you have any wrapping papers and packaging for this?
No, we got some packing tape that we'll just tape you up with.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
can fire that in.
But my
Super glue that baby.
cold performer of the week goes to the person that said that it's as easy as riding a bike. Because
I was wondering where the cold, is it the bike? Is it yourself? Is it the shale?
Easy. The bike, other than the one break, the brake took quite a bit of the brunt. I got to file that down again. But
That reminded me of the other day. I was speaking with my old man and he goes, "Hey, you want that bike that I still got in the garage?" I'm like, "What bike?" He's like, "You remember the one you hit a parked car with?" I'm like, "I did do that, didn't I?" Yeah.
came out of nowhere.
In the bike.
No. Oh, it needs a little work. I hit her pretty good, Tyler. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was on the back half of the case at that point, if you know what I'm saying. Tyler, you're up. Cold for the week.
Peanut butter tequila.
Chicachita? You don't like Chicachita?
No, I love it.
Oh.
That's why it's my cold performer of the week. I think I'm sick.
Oh, that's cold. Oh, that's cold.
Yeah. Do you mix that with anything, or is it's just a shooter?
Just fire it back. You can throw in so if you shake it on ice, throw a little bit of Chambord in there. It's like a raspberry liqueur. You get a little bit of PB&J going on there.
Ooh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
Next time.
I said it already,
Wednesday.
but my cold performer of the week is the NBA playoffs. Nobody cares. I don't think. People care probably.
Canadians, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
2-day gap between the road games is just super annoying. Like, I just want to watch the boys play. I want to watch them get this job done.
That's just the bleep.
It's a truck backing up.
When did we get that?
New button alert.
I really hate your... All right. Hot performer of the week. Let's reverse the order. Tyler, you're up first. What is a bright side in your life from the last 7 days?
Lou Lamoriello, dad of the year. Andy Strickland reporting that right before Lou Lamoriello was dismissed, he gave his son a multi-year extension to be the assistant GM.
Oh, that rocks.
Matt Star shows up and he's like, "All right, guys, we're cleaning house." And Chris Lamoriello was like,
That's like the Miami Heat, who didn't give the coach his new contract till the coach's divorce was finalized. Once the divorce was finalized,
smart.
Then he got the massive contract.
Smart.
He's a hot guy.
Great.
Yeah, you can fire me now, but you're still paying me.
It's not the first time it's happened actually in these playoffs. Even I was corrected afterwards, but I'm going to give my hot performer of the week out to one Corey Bender. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on my social media and Oilers Nation social media as well. He took the shot out of chugged a beer out of his prosthetic leg.
We were doing the leggies
We're
on
doing
Sunday.
leggies on Sunday evening.
His leg?
Yes.
Yeah, out of his
We were doing
prosthetic
leggies
leg
on the patio.
And I asked, I asked on social media. I said on social media that I'd like to be able to get him a beer, and his fiance contacted me, and so we're going to have him down at Greta hopefully for one of the
Yeah, I
Stanley
guess
Cup
he's got
final
like
games.
people are pushing to get this dude on everything. Like,
Yeah.
McAfee, pay attention to this dude.
He's a good guy.
That was the leggies were going around on Sunday.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
It was awesome.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
I gotta say, that's a new one for me. I've never seen a guy pop his own leg off and have a drink out of her, you know?
Oh, buddy, he was passing that thing around.
Yeah.
The only comparable I can think of in my life is I had a buddy who played junior and he got all his front teeth knocked out. So until he was done playing, he had one of those retainers that just had teeth on it. And we used to play past the teeth all the time. And there was nothing more fun than sliding those teeth in the bottom of someone's beer. And then by the time they get to the bottom, they're just teeth in there. Anyway, it's just dudes being dudes, I
I
guess.
love that.
Yeah, pop your leg off if you can. How many beers does it hold?
I don't think we tested how many, but you're getting a couple in there, that's for sure.
All right. Okay.
You're getting
Another button for you, sir.
Cool pitcher and a half,
Feeling
perhaps.
hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot,
One of those
hot.
like ice things. You pop that in there. Just keep it cool.
100%, especially those hot days in the sun.
Come on. Liam, you're up. Hot from the week.
What about me?
Oh, sorry.
We just I was
Leggy, you paid-
double down on
I
his leggy.
completely get derailed by a guy
I
popping his
forgot
own
about
leg.
that.
Go ahead, Rick. What do you got?
Let's give it to the janitor. He had his chance to get back against Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Does it? Did he score against Vegas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then he plays against his other old team, Dallas. Does it? Did he score against Dallas?
Yep.
Let's go. What more do you want out of the guy?
We the best.
I couldn't take the whole
2
team.
goals in the
so
cup finals. That's what I want.
I couldn't take the whole team.
I'll take 2 goals in the cup finals from Matthias Janmark. Come on. Liam, hop from the week.
I got a donut in Oilers game. That was awesome. It tasted bad, but it was catching it that made
Can you walk
everything.
through the review? Because when you told me at the game, it was very funny.
The review of the donut?
Yeah, please.
There was like 2 strips of meat, so there was no meat on the thing. And he just absolutely stuffed with as many veggies as they could put in there and just no sauce, very dry. But I got it.
You got it.
And that's what matters the most.
100%.
I'm staying alive. Jones barbecue foot massage. Jones barbecue foot massage.
I teased it earlier, but like going to the watch parties at Greta is so funny because the unicorn jerseys that come out of the woodwork that you see downtown. Last night, there was an Eric Brewer. I haven't seen one of those in forever. There was Joffrey Lupul. There was part of me thought it might have been Joffrey Lupul. Jay sent me a Patrick Thorson the other day. I saw a Jujar Kara the other day. So just the unicorns around the city.
The Sean Podine I sent you a couple weeks ago.
Sean Podine is unreal.
I saw Adam Clendenin.
Was it Adam Clendenin?
It might
That's
have
what
been.
my buddy said. It might be him.
It was the same thing as a guy who's like I've been doing this bit for a long time now, and people just send me jerseys, which I love. There was an Anton Bailov at the game the other day.
Dude,
Well, he was
one of my works owners, his daughter has the going for your heart there, the egg.
Greg the Egg McKay?
Yes.
A 69 jersey?
I don't know the number on it, but yeah, she
What
was
happened to
rocking
Greg?
in the
Great. The
keg.
only Leafs jersey worth buying, in my opinion.
Greg the Egg played a huge part in Oilers history, actually.
Go ahead, Leo.
He was the guy Toronto, Florida traded Zach Hyman for.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I like it.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Greg the Egg currently playing in Czechia, by the way. People wondering. Actually, he didn't play at all. He was injured all season.
Well,
The
speedy
Egg.
recovery, Greg the Egg.
Greg
All the King's horses and all the King's men.
helping to put them back together again.
Poor Greg the Egg.
All right. There we have it. Another episode of Oilers Nation Radio in the books. We will be back on Tuesday for a full preview of the Stanley Cup final. Rest up this weekend.
Should we have beers on Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we should.
It's Tuesday. That's like 5 days from now, Tyler.
Tyler, you're having a beer in like 3 hours.
I was going to say by like 5:30 you'll be ready for one.
See, look at his face. He knows. You got a
Maybe-
tea time
maybe
today? You're having
3:15.
beer.
I am playing softball tonight, so.
Yeah, there you go. All right, everybody. We'll be back on Tuesday. Enjoy the weekend off. Rest up. We got a lot of work left to do. We'll see you on Tuesday.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.